The small, pearlescent ship, shaped like a softly glowing seed pod, descended silently through Earth-Euro's atmosphere one rainy Tuesday evening inside. Zorb, a being composed of shimmering, light-sensitive membranes and gentle, inquisitive tendrils, peered intently at the swirling blues and greens below his research orb pulsed with data. Class 3 planet-dominant species. Humans documented behavior. Frequent tactile interaction with smaller, fur-bearing life forms designation. Petting to Zorb. Raised in a galaxy where physical connection was rare and profound, this sounded like a sanctuary, a dedicated zoo of affection. His many eyes widened with pure, luminous hope. He yearned not for conquest, but for the simple, grounding comfort of a gentle touch, a connection his ephemeral form rarely experienced. Earth, bathed in moonlight and rain, seemed to beckon him towards its promise of belonging, landing his delicate craft amidst a cluster of fragrant pine trees behind a sprawling, sleeping farm. Zorb emerged cautiously. Raindrops sizzled softly where they met his energy field. He observed the large, warm-lit structure nearby, a barn. Peering inside, he saw immense, gentle creatures with soulful eyes. Cows. Remembering the orb's data about humans initiating contact with smaller beings, he reasoned size must be irrelevant in this zoo of touch. Approaching the nearest cow, Daisy, with infinite tenderness, Zorb extended a cluster of his most sensitive, glowing tendrils. Greetings, noble creature. His thoughts hummed gently. I seek only the communion of contact. Daisy, startled by the sudden light and unfamiliar sensation, let out a thunderous, panicked moo, and swung her massive head. One of Zorb's tendrils brushed her wet nose, sending a jolt of chaotic sensation through his system. Terrified and overwhelmed, he retreated in a shimmering blur, phasing back into his ship. His hope momentarily shattered like fragile crystal. For days, Zorb remained hidden, a silent observer cloaked in the woods. He watched the humans, tall, solid beings who moved with purpose. He saw them scoop up tiny, yipping creatures called puppies, burying their faces in soft fur. He witnessed a small human girl tenderly stroke the feathers of a chicken, her laughter like clear bells. Confusion warred with his longing. Why was contact freely given to some, but his approach caused such alarm? He felt profoundly alone, a spectral ghost yearning for the warmth everyone else seemed to partake in so easily. The vastness of Earth, so full of life, only amplified his sense of isolation. He huddled within his ship, his light dimmed by melancholy, replaying the fleeting, terrifying sensation of the cow's rough nose against his essence. Was the entire universe devoid of a touch meant for him? One crisp morning, driven by a despairing need to understand, Zorb ventured closer to the farmhouse itself. He found himself peering through a window into a sun-drenched kitchen. Inside, a small human child, perhaps 6 years old, named Lily, sat at a table. Her face scrunched in frustration over a drawing. Her crayon snapped. A single tear traced a path down her cheek. Zorb felt a strange resonance, a pang of shared sadness deep within his core. Without conscious thought, drawn by an inexplicable pull, he allowed his form to become subtly visible near the window, his light pulsing softly, a gentle, curious radiance. Lily looked up, her tearful eyes widening, not in fear, but in pure, unadulterated wonder. The strange, glowing shape outside didn't seem scary. It seemed sad, like her crayon. Lily, guided by a child's unguarded intuition, slowly walked to the back door and stepped outside. She approached the shimmering figure near the lilac bushes. Zorb held perfectly still, every sensor focused on the small human. Lily looked into his cluster of gentle, light-filled eyes. She didn't see a monster or an invader. She saw loneliness that mirrored her own. After her best friend moved away very slowly, with infinite care, she raised her small, warm hand. Zorb, remembering the painful lesson of the barn, instinctively flinched. a soft ripple of light running through him, but Lily paused. Her hand hovering, "It's okay," she whispered, her voice soft as dandelion fluff. "Don't be scared," she waited, radiating patience and kindness. Then, with featherlight tenderness, she placed her palm against the cool, smooth energy field where Zorb's cheek might be. The sensation was unlike anything Zorb had ever known. It wasn't the chaotic jolt of the cow, nor the sterile data from his orbit. Was pure, radiant warmth. It was acceptance. It was a gentle, human kindness flowing directly into his being. His entire form blossomed with light, soft golds, calming blues, gentle pinks, pulsing slowly, rhythmically, like a contented heartbeat. A low, harmonious hum, like distant wind chimes warmed by the sun, vibrated from his core. Lily giggled, a sound of pure delight. "You're soft," she murmured, leaving her hand resting against his light in that silent communion. Beneath the vast blue sky, the alien who sought a zoo found something infinitely more precious, a single, profound moment of understanding and shared peace. He felt seen, not as a specimen, but as a being worthy of gentle contact. Zorb spent several more days near the farm, his fear replaced by a profound, quiet joy. He learned to communicate simple feelings through shifts in light and soft hums, which Lily seemed to understand intuitively. They shared silent moments by the creek, Zorb glowing softly as Lily skipped stones. He watched her stroke the barn cat, understanding now the mutual comfort it brought. He realized Earth wasn't a curated petting zoo. It was a complex world of independent lives, where affection was a language spoken in countless dialects, freely given and received. When trust was built, his initial misunderstanding dissolved, replaced by a deep respect for the delicate, powerful bonds that could form across unimaginable differences. He learned that true connection wasn't about seeking touch, but about offering and receiving presence with an open heart. The time came when Zorb ship, repaired and humming softly, signaled it was ready. He knew he couldn't stay. His energy field subtly affected the local environment. On his last evening, he found Lily sitting on the porch swing. He manifested fully, his light a soft beacon in the twilight. Lily understood. She didn't cry. She smiled, her eyes bright. She held out her hand one last time. Zorb leaned into her touch, his light warm and steady against her small palm. A wave of profound gratitude, of love, flowed from him, a golden light enveloping her hand for a brief, warm moment. Then, without a sound, he turned and walked towards the woods, dissolving into a cascade of shimmering motes of light that ascended gracefully towards the waiting ship. It lifted silently into the star-strewn sky, becoming just another twinkling point of light. Lily kept looking up long after the ship vanished. She felt the lingering warmth on her hand, a warmth that wasn't just physical, but a deep, comforting glow in her heart far above. Zorb gazed back at the receding blue marble. His research orb now held new data, imprinted with the feeling of a small, warm hand and the sound of a child's whisper. Earth wasn't a zoo, it was a planet where a lonely alien found an unexpected bridge built not on knowledge, but on simple, fearless kindness. He carried that warmth within him, a beacon against the cosmic cold, forever remembering the child who gently touched the stars and taught him the true meaning of home. The gentle hum of his ship blended with the memory of Lily's laughter, a lullaby for the long journey ahead.